Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's a real story that's kind of spooky, but kind of crazy and cool. You know, everything turned out well. But yeah, let me get into it. So as you guys read by the title of this video, I was held hostage with a gun to my head for 6 hours. This used to be kind of hard to talk about whenever I was younger, but as I got older, it really just became kind of a cool story in a way. Now I can just tell it to anybody, really. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not scared or anything like that now, but when I was younger, it definitely was traumatizing. So let me get into it. Okay, so I was 4 when this happened, but I remember it like it was just yesterday. So it all started out one night. Randomly, my 2 older brothers decided they wanted to spend the night at a friend's house. So my mom let them spend the night at a friend's house, no big deal. And we're at the house, me, my mom, and her somewhat new boyfriend who was staying with us. Her ex-boyfriend named Joe had gotten wind that she had a new boyfriend and he was like living with us now. And he wasn't very happy about that, but we really didn't know that. And he also had like a drinking problem and he was kind of abusive verbally to my mom. So obviously that's why she left him. So he wasn't happy about that. So that night, I fell asleep on the couch watching cartoons, you know, typical me. Randomly, in the middle of the night, I wake up to my mom yelling, running at me from her bedroom towards the couch. She scoops me up, runs me to the bathroom, launches me from the hallway into the bathroom, and I land in a tub full of water. Why it was full of water, I don't know. Maybe we forgot to drain my bath or something, I don't know. Not important. Then after that, she ran out, and about 10 seconds later, ran back in, and following behind her was Joe with a gun. Now, my mom's in the bathroom clutching me and Joe's pointing the gun at us from the door. Now he has us trapped in the bathroom, me and my mom. He's reaching into the closet across from the bathroom, the linen closet, for all the towels that are in there and throwing them into the bathroom. While all this was going on, my mom's new boyfriend jumped out of the bedroom window and ran. Now granted, he ran and he called the police and, you know, got things, you know, going with that, but it was like, you're supposed to be protecting us, so I don't know, it was a weird way to feel about that, but he called the police and got help. Meanwhile, we're in the bathroom with Joe. So how he actually got it, that couch I was sleeping on was up against the window in our living room. Like the back of it was up against the window. Well, pretty much just after my mom had picked me up off the couch and ran me into the bathroom, boom, 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 bullet holes. Right through the glass window, into the back of the couch that I was sleeping on. And then he broke the window in and came in through the window. Escaping death, like within seconds, maybe a minute. I don't, you know, you lose track of how fast time goes and stuff like this almost. We're in the bathroom now with Joe. He's now locked the bathroom door, gun pointing at me and my mom. We're in there for 5 hours. 5 hours with this man. And throughout those 5 hours, there was times where he was pointing the gun to our heads, literally up against my head, my mom's head, and throwing towels over our face saying, I don't want to see you when I kill you, and just yelling at us, saying that he's gonna kill us. And my mom, you know, she was trying to persuade him and talk to him and tell him, you know, things like, you haven't done anything wrong yet, please give up, like, you won't get in much trouble, like, think about this. And he wasn't hearing that. So, like I said, for a while, he was just yelling at us, pointing the gun at us, and you know, my mom's crying, clutching me up, trying to hide me from him. Then all of a sudden, the SWAT team is outside of my house. They're everywhere. They get in contact with us and they send in a phone. They send in a, you know, like a cord phone, you know, to Joe, and they ask to speak to him. You know, they do that to try and bribe them. They have, I can't think of the word, but people that specifically talk to someone that's in a bad state of mind like this, trying to do something bad, harming people, and try to talk them out of it. A negotiator. So they send in this phone, and now they have the negotiator on the line with Joe, trying to negotiate getting us out of there and free and safe. Joe was not hearing it. He did not want to give up. He kept us in there, and little did Joe know, and we didn't know this till after the fact, but after he hung up the phone with them, it was still recording. So they could still hear everything he was saying and every move he was gonna make in order, to keep tabs on what's going on. How brilliant was that? So at this point, 5 hours in, they negotiate with him again. They get him to release me. So I say goodbye to my mom. He grabs me, is walking me to the front door from our bathroom with a gun to my head. I'm 4 years old. With a gun in my head, we reach the front door. He turns around and gives me $1 bill.
We got a dollar, we got a dollar, we got a dollar, hey, 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 hey.
Now, him being in my life for a couple years, he knew that I really liked the Hershey's cookies and cream bar that I used to get at the gas station up the road. He told me to get that candy bar. Like, why are you holding a gun to my head but being nice to me at the same time at this very moment? Confused. Anyways, shoves me out the front door. Like, removes the gun, shoves me out the front door, shuts the door. I try and like push back in, although I was only 4 years old and not gonna push a door in. That's my mom in there. And the instinct was just like, still about my mom. Even when we were sitting in the bathroom and he had a gun to our heads, at 4 years old, I remember thinking, what if let me just try and grab the gun and shoot him really quick. But then I also was like old enough still, I don't know how in this situation, but I remember this clearly going through my head. Like, no, but what if I don't do it? He's definitely gonna kill me or us. So obviously I didn't do that. So he shoved me out, I tried to get back in. So I'm left at the front door, literally bawling my eyes out. Now I didn't know that there was the SWAT team or cops or anything around at this very second necessarily. Like, I didn't know where they were or anything like that. I just knew that they called on the phone. That's all I knew. So I'm literally just crying on the front doorstep, and I hear, run to your left. And crying, I said, I don't know my left or my right. I was only 4, I didn't know. And then out of nowhere, a couple seconds later, I get tackled up onto somebody's shoulder and they just take off with me. Ends up being a SWAT team member. Literally tackled me from the front, right by my front door, picked me up on his shoulder and just ran with me to get me out of harm's way. Insane, I know. Runs me up the block to this big RV. So the SWAT team had an RV for questioning that they brought me to. They took my $1 for evidence. So I couldn't even get my candy bar. They asked me a bunch of questions of what was going on inside. I let them know my mom was still in there, everything that he was saying to us. I'm gonna kill you, I don't wanna see you when I kill you, with the towels overhead. So then they finally are done questioning me, and up the road there's everybody that's been evacuated, so my immediate family, my real dad, my aunts, uncles, bunch of TV crews, cameras, everything. So a cop actually brings me into his car. I sit in the front seat, and now we're driving those 3 blocks to go get me to my family. And on the way there, he tells me to press this button. So, I pressed the button. Didn't know what it was for, and the sirens turn on. And as a little kid, that was kind of cool. In the situation that I was in right now, that actually, I remember making me kind of smile because I thought it was cool. Crying, but I smiled. And that also alerted the people that we were driving towards that we were on our way. They get me out of the cop car. My dad was hiding me from all the cameras, and they didn't want to show me and anything like that. They wanted to get me away from everybody, so that's what they did. So I'm safe. My mom's still in there for another hour. Eventually, Joe gives up. They get him to give up. My mom helped too, negotiating him, talking to him, saying, you're not gonna get in trouble. Don't worry. Just please give up now. You've done nothing wrong. Don't go any further. So he walks out the front door, drops his gun, drops to his knees, and he just gets pummeled by the SWAT team, everything. SWAT team jumped on him. They did not take it easy on him, my mom said. So that's kind of how it ended. And when I say the SWAT team was there, by the way, there was snipers in the woods right across my street. There was people on top of the house, on the sides of the house, everywhere you can think of, in the trees. Everywhere you can think of, there's a SWAT team member. After all this was done, years later, after I was comfortable with talking about the situation and stuff, I finally asked my mom, what happened whenever I wasn't in there and it was just you guys? And he, made her do some things that, we're not gonna talk about, but, really made me upset, and I feel so terrible for my mom, but we walked away with our lives. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, for the next couple years, probably like 6, 7 years, up to like 12, 13 years old, I struggled with this. I never had counseling or anything like that. Probably should have, but I struggled as far as like having nightmares when I sleep. Sometimes I couldn't sleep alone. I'd want to like be near my mom. You know, it was definitely traumatizing. My mom does say she wished she would have got me help now, but I'm fine now. I have no problem talking about it. I'm not having nightmares, but for a while thereafter, it was definitely worrisome. You know, I had nightmares about him himself, and then there was actually even a point where years later, it was probably around when I was like 12, that they were talking about releasing him from prison because he was like sick and he was gonna go live with his mom in like Fort Lauderdale. And I literally was so scared though after that. I told my mom, we gotta move, we're moving to Massachusetts, we're getting out of here, we gotta go, because I would be so scared. They didn't end up letting him out, and then shortly after that, we actually got a phone call saying that he had passed away in jail. Now, I don't wish death upon anybody, but when I heard that, I did do a cannonball into a pool. Like, I was relieved, and yeah. After that, it was definitely like a big woosah for everybody, me and my mom. It was definitely the craziest thing I've ever been a part of or witnessed in my entire life. And I'm very happy that I get to tell the story today, because it could have gone a different way. But me and my mom are great, we're doing well, and yeah, we're just happy that we walked away in such a terrible situation, you know, unscathed. But yeah, I'm actually gonna have the newspaper clipping probably in here somewhere to show you guys that this is indeed real and a true story. If you Google my name, you will find it on the internet. If you guys enjoyed hearing my real life crazy story, definitely leave a like on the video. We would appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. And we will see you next video. Peace.